Welcome back to another video. If you're new, I'm Nicole. Today I'm going to do my February setup for my bullet journal. I get a chance to set it up earlier. Normally I do it like a week before, but some months I do it halfway through. I started a new one for this month. This was my last one. And then I have some older ones, but this is my current one. This sticker is not sticking very well, but it's okay. I've just been doing like little covers, did year at a glance, and then I did some goals. January goal was to finish my initial college scholarship essays and like applications, and I didn't fully complete it because school got really hectic and we had a big ice storm, so without power and all these things. But I don't have my internship on Monday, so I'll have several hours to like work on my applications and everything, so that should be done. I mean, they're due within 2 weeks, so that I will be checking off. I started my January playlist, so part of what I do each month is I make a playlist for each month. Most of it is like music that came out within the month. Sometimes it's like old songs that kind of I've just been listening to. So I'm gonna do a blank page and set up my February. I've made bullet journal videos before, but they're mostly just like me doing it without talking, so I kind of want to talk through some of the stuff I use. So what I do is I have a Spotify playlist for each month. I like to write it down in my bullet journal just to have as like a little memory. So I'm gonna get that pulled up. Sometimes I'll just like listen to the playlist while I do it. It only takes a couple minutes and it's just like a nice way to look back at it. And it's just like an easy, simple monthly spread that isn't a whole lot of work. It's not very time consuming. Another thing that I really like to do is have a Pinterest board with ideas. I'll post my own, but also it kind of helps me get inspiration from other people. So here I have like monthly covers, calendar layouts, week, just a bunch of doodles, fonts, and just other layout ideas. This one and this one and these are all ones that I've made. And I kind of have my stuff organized in a couple different spots. I have one main organizer on the top of my desk, and then I have some other spots. So in here, these are all my Tombow pens. I have Papermate Flare pens, which kind of feed off into this. And these are dual tip Crayola pens that I actually really like. Eyeliners, just a bunch of colored pens, and then some gel pens and finer line pens. My Spotify's not working, so I might do this later, but those are most of the pens that I use a lot. And then I have 2 cups for my hairstyles concert that whatever pens I've been using for that month, just whatever colors I kind of have been using, I just throw them in here so that I don't have to keep grabbing them. And that seems to be working pretty well. And then in one of the shelves in my drawer, I have some more containers that are just random. Like this is a pen from Disneyland when I was younger, and they just kind of sit there. I have 2 bins that I got from IKEA. This first one has a bunch more pens in it, and these are the ones that I use a little bit less, but these are some dual tip art pens as well. These are a bit more calligraphy like. These are Tombow twin tone pens, which I also really like. I just don't have room for up top. These are like detail doodlers. I think they're like from Target. I could be wrong though, I'll link them. These are also these dual tip pens, and I just have like the more vibrant colors in one and then the darker tone colors in another. Other container has a bunch of washi tape that I don't use all the time, but it is really nice for layering. And then I just have a bunch of the Crayola super tips, and I just separated them by like pinks, orange, yellows, all like the warmer colors, and then the cooler colors, and I have those down there as well. Kind of decided that for my February spread, I want to do a lot more like pinks and purples. I'm going to do a little February header up top, and then I'll do the calendar and then the playlist on this side. Then for the outline, I think I'm going to do the Tombow twin tone pens just because they kind of match. And then I tend to like to let it sit a little bit just so that I can kind of let it dry and know that if I write in black the letters, they're not going to bleed all over the place. I'm going to leave that to dry, and then I'm going to do the calendar down here. And for this one, I think I want it to be a little bit more freeform. I'm not too worried about the lines and everything. I think if it's a little bit wonky, it's fine. So for this one, I didn't do any outlines. I just didn't feel like I needed it. And then down here, I'm going to do some notes. Like, I know when my winter formal is. I'm going to add in the letters for February. I'm just going to do it in black. Some of my favorite pens are the Lei pen drawing pens. I think that's how you say it. And they have a bunch of different sizes, and I typically do like a 0.5. I don't love doing the biggest one. If I start with a 0.5 and I want it bigger, then I fill it in, and then I'll fill out the dates and everything later once I can add most of my stuff to my calendar. Some other pens that I like to use are the Jelly Roll white gel pens. The pack I got has the 5, 8, and 10. I typically like the 8 and 10. I find that the 5 sometimes is like too fine of a point for it to show up on anything. Sometimes I'll add it kind of to the corner, and then you can see up there it just adds a little bit of something. And then for my monthly playlist, sometimes I'll go a little bit more crazy detailed on it, especially if I know an album's coming out that I'm going to want a lot on. And then sometimes I'll just do like a pretty title and then I'll write it out. I think I'm going to keep it a little bit more simple for this month. So I just have the title up here. This is another time that I either really like to use the fine tip of these or just a gel pen or my flare pens and outline it. I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now and then decide. A lot of time I'll add, again, like a little border around here. That's basically all I do for my initial spreads. This is just like a really easy beginner one, or one that doesn't take a lot of time. Some take a little bit more time, or you can like add a lot more to it. You know, if I drew the lines out or if I put every date in a heart, that would take more time. But obviously if I just want it to be a quick little thing, this goes a lot faster. I'll put up some pictures of other playlists spreads that I've done because I do really like making them. I just want February to be a little bit faster. Also typically end up making like a to-do list spread just in the same colors. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all of the pens that I used or might use for this spread, I'm gonna put them in the cup. That way when I want to make another spread, I just have all the colors ready. And then I'm gonna set a February goal, which I think for that is gonna be to spend 10 minutes picking up my room every day, or like at least 6 days a week. There are some days where I'm working late and it gets kind of hard, but I think if I can spend like 10 minutes picking up my room each day, it'll stay a lot cleaner because I had to clean everything up before filming this. But that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I have some other bullet journal videos. I'm going to try to make one each month so I can kind of document it and make some that are a little bit more difficult and some that are easier.